Hello, I'm Rob Phillips, and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a 45-minute yin yoga sequence where we ground in the sensations of our body. That is, where we really feel what's going on in each moment as a way to stay connected to what's already here. For props today, I'm going to recommend that you have a blanket, a couple of blocks. We are also going to be using a strap today. Now, you don't need a proper yoga strap per se, but maybe a belt, something that's going to lengthen your arms is going to be pretty important a little bit later in the sequence. Beyond that here, as always, if you want to stay in touch, I do have an email list. Feel free to sign up for that down below. When you're ready to get started here, find your way into a comfortable seat. So I'm already sitting up on top of my blanket, so grab any props you'd like. You can find cross-leg, any posture that works well for you here. Once you've set that up for yourself, hands could rest onto the knees, they could rest in the lap. Elevate the spine, but then soften the shoulders. Close your eyes. And begin to feel a sense of settling here. Begin to feel a sense of arriving here. Noticing, of course, the sensations in the body. Noticing the movements of your breath as they rise and they fall. Really noticing anything at all that is showing up for you here in this moment. The mind may still feel a little bit busy. There may be some thoughts, some wandering here and there. That's normal. That's the nature of mind, especially as we change gears. But as I hinted at in my introduction here, what we can tune into is the sense of the physical. Can you truly feel, for example, the earth beneath you, the contact with the floor? Can you feel the sensations of your breath as they move, as they rise and fall? Infinite sensations come and go in the body. And those sensations are always shifting. They're always evolving through each moment. And so as we settle for just a few more breaths, notice, have things started to shift for you? Does it feel a little bit easier to be here now? Just noticing the body, just noticing the sensations. Here now you can take a gentle inhale breath through the nose. You can open up your mouth as you exhale and let that out. And drop down the chin, slowly begin to open your eyes. And from your seat, you can begin to extend the legs forwards and in front. Let them relax, maybe shake them out a little bit if you'd like here, kind of free things up. We'll be staying in seated here, but we're going to start in a butterfly pose. So from here, shift your feet so that they're touching. You can have the feet a little bit out from the body. They don't need to be super close in. As always, if you need like your blocks or some other props under the knees, certainly feel free to grab those. I still like to use my blocks underneath my hands for a bit of support, for a bit of foundation here. So find your setup here, and as you're ready, we'll take a gentle inhale for some length. We'll take an exhale and begin to shift forwards to find our fold here. So keep in mind, as you fold, we're all going to look a little bit different here. There's no prize for getting closer to the floor. There's no need. In fact, you shouldn't push too deep here. Instead, can you find that threshold just where you truly start to feel the pose? Just where you truly notice the sensations in the body? No pose should ever become painful or sharp. No pose should ever feel aggressive, like you're doing too much. And if you get any sense at all that you might be pushing the body too far, listen to that feedback and consider backing out, consider adjusting and fine-tuning. And working right at that edge before things become overwhelming at all. As you find that edge, we relax the body in general. We are still in general, meaning we're not moving or shifting all that much. And yet, as you notice the sensations, feel how things are always evolving there. Feel the infinite types of sensations that might show up for you. And one of the things I love about practicing this way in a yin yoga setting is the body gives us so much to connect with. Each pose is different. Each moment in the pose is different. And the body is always giving us that feedback. So here now for yourself, just allow yourself a few more deep breaths. Let the body relax that much more. And again, feel the sensations. Feel the physical. Just what it's like to be right here and right now. Now you can take one more complete breath just as you are. Slowly begin to inhale and rise up out of any fold. And there you can take a moment to relax the shoulders, relax the neck and the back, kind of free all that up. Take a moment as well. You can extend the legs, let that relax, let that free up. From here, I'm going to take a pause. I'm going to kind of set us up for where we are going though. So can set your blocks up near the front of the mat. I'm going to recommend that you set up your blanket kind of in the middle of your mat here. And we'll take a short pause pose. I'm going to pause in a child's pose. You could also pause on your belly or your back. Find some place that's comfortable for you, but take a nice minute or so here just to let the body integrate. To feel the effects of that first pose as they settle, as they kind of bounce back here. And take a few deeper breaths, inviting the energy to circulate through the body, to move, flow. And take gentle inhale breath through your nose. Take a gentle exhale breath out your mouth. And from here, you can slowly start to pick yourself up, and we'll be setting up for a dragon pose. So dragon pose is basically a low lunge. We're actually going to do two halves to this, two kind of different flavors of the shape. So patting the knee is almost required here, the back knee that is. So have your blanket under your right knee, and we will step our left foot forward to come into our lunging shape. And so as we set this up here, for the first part, basic dragon, kind of classic dragon, line up your knee more or less over that left heel. Allow for the weight of the body to shift a little bit. You'll feel that bit of stretch on the thighs. You can use the hands to lean into, and keep in mind this pose requires a little bit of work. Yes, we're somewhat relaxed, we're settling, but you'll need to support yourself. So expect that. Being careful with our edge here. This is a significant pose. You will absolutely feel the body in the shape. Feeling the body is not a problem, but feeling anything at all close to pain, anything at all sharp or aggressive, you'll want to be careful with that. And yet, in many ways, this dragon pose, which for most of my students over the years tends to be the most challenging one that we practice here, but at the same time, dragon pose is our best teacher. Can you let yourself experience the pose, not running from the experience? Instead, really inhabiting it. From here now, though, take just one more complete breath, and we're going to turn this into a very different flavor of the same shape. So using blocks here, I recommend flipping them up high. We're going to rock the hips back. Now, as I do this, I notice I'm sitting a little further back, so I'm going to slide my left foot a little bit further forward so that leg is nice and straight. Coming into what we sometimes call retreating dragon because we were moving back. Notice how my left foot picked up off the floor. Now I can really target this back line of the leg. So I'm going to shift the weight in space, lean into this to find my sweet spot. This pose has a little bit of an element of balance to it, and you're supporting yourself, and be careful here. Make sure that you feel stable. Make sure you're not pushing or doing too much. And as I was just saying, truly feel the pose. Notice the shifts and the evolution, really, of the experience in the body. If the mind tries to run away, if it tries to pull you away from the experience, just gently bring the attention back here. Now let's take just one more complete breath like we are. And from there, you can slowly start to shift back forwards. Use your left leg, take it back, let it circulate, let it move, and let's come back into a very neutral shape. Again, I'm going to rest in child's pose. You could rest there. You could rest on your belly, your back, wherever it feels comfortable for you to settle here for a short bit. As you do settle here on your belly, take a few deeper breaths. Feel the difference between the left and the right sides. Feel how the body integrates the work that you have just done. Feel the sensations of being here in this moment. Let's take a final complete breath, just as we are. Slowly begin to come out of your neutral shape, and of course we'll set up for the second side of that dragon. So I do recommend using blocks, do recommend patting the back knee. This time, of course, we'll step our right foot forwards. So the right knee will align basically over the heel here for stability. You can use these blocks, you can adjust them. Remember, you're leaning into the arms, but you're not like collapsing or pushing too hard either. Little shifts of the weight here and there, you'll find your spot, and we expect to feel a lot in this pose. It's significant. Gravity is doing a lot of work, but never to the point of pain. Never to the point of sharpness or intensity. Find that place here for yourself and experience it. What are you experiencing in this moment? And can you be with that experience just as it is? For now, we'll take one more complete breath like we are, and we'll carefully begin to shift into that second half here, that retreating dragon. So again, I like to flip the blocks up. I'm rocking or shifting my hips back. You may micro adjust here. Try to get that right leg, more or less straight. If there's a lot of tightness, please, of course, don't force it or push it to go further than it wants to. But as you dial that in, you can lean in or out. You can shift the weight and should feel significant release happening on the back line of that right leg. Notice the qualities of that experience. Notice the sensations as they shift and they evolve. As everything comes and goes. Let the physical sensations keep you grounded, keep you anchored here in the experience of what is. Let's take one more complete breath, just like we are. And then slowly begin to shift your weight back forwards. As you've come forwards, now you can take the right leg back behind you. And sway, kind of shake things out, release a little bit as you would like. This time now, as you're ready, you can clear out all of your props. We're going to rest on our back. We'll take a nice neutral shape there. And as you rest here, as you settle here, notice how your body feels right now. Notice the sensations that are coming and going, breath as it rises and falls, and all of that. Feel that calm here. Feel that integration here for a few more moments, for a few more slow breaths. Take a deep inhale breath through your nose. And a big exhale breath out your mouth. From here, we'll be remaining on our backs, but please grab a hold of your strap. You can open it up. It doesn't need to be in a loop or anything like that. Again, you can use a belt or whatever you have available for you. Bend your legs, walk them in as I'm doing here. And take your strap and place it right on the heel of the left foot. So actually pretty low down. And take that leg so that it's nice and long. And again, start with the leg actually relatively low to the floor. From there, you can slowly begin to raise the angle of that leg until you start to feel a nice bit of pull, a nice bit of sensation happening there. Now we are going to be here for some time, so you might consider rolling the strap over each hand to make it easier to hold. Make sure you have enough slack on the strap so that you're not straining to keep it in position. And this is kind of your choice. You can either keep the right leg bent, or if you would prefer, you can extend the right leg long onto the floor, making an L shape if that feels okay on your hips and your lower back. Now be mindful here that you're not pulling in an aggressive way. Certainly don't try and get the deepest possible sensation. You just want to feel enough that you know you're doing some work with that lifted leg. And relaxing the body, letting it all settle, letting it all release. And otherwise tuning in here and truly noticing the effects of this pose. Truly noticing the sensations of each moment. The body is always here. The physical is always here. Even when the thoughts wander, even when the mind drifts, we can come back to the sensations. We can come back to this moment again and again. Take a final complete breath just like you are. And then from here, you can carefully release. Extend the left leg onto the floor, release that strap. Extend the right leg too if you did bend that leg. Maybe wiggle the fingers for a few seconds, but as you rest here, otherwise, notice the contrast between the two legs. Notice how the body absorbs what you have just done. Certainly, I should mention that when I talk about sensations, I don't just mean the more challenging sensations or more intense sensations. Yin yoga can also feel very pleasant, especially in moments like this, when we come out of the pose. We feel more lightness, we feel more ease in the body. So certainly notice that here. Take a few more slow breaths to really take that in for yourself. Here now though, let's set up for the second side. So gather your strap here once again. Walk the legs in so that the knees are bent. Set up your strap, this time on the heel of the right leg, of course. And extend that leg nice and long. Have it fairly low to the ground as you first get started. But then gradually raise the angle of the leg until you start to feel a nice bit of pull. And as you dial that up, again, knowing that we'll be here for some time, you might roll the strap over the hands. Make sure you have enough slack so that the shoulders can relax. And then the left leg either stays bent, or you could extend that left leg onto the floor to make more of an L shape for yourself here. Either way, definitely ensure that you are not pushing in an aggressive way, that you are not straining. You want to relax the ribs, the chest, and the shoulders. Feel all of that drop down a bit here. Just what do you feel in the body here? Can you let that physical experience anchor you in this moment? Can you keep coming back to that again and again? Take a final complete breath just like you are. And very slowly begin to release the right leg all the way down to the floor. You can release the strap and extend the other leg too, so you're just lying down flat on your back. Maybe you'd like to wiggle the fingers, just kind of free things up. Spread out onto the earth, and again, feel how the body integrates what you just did. And take a few nice deep breaths to really kind of steep in that, to really kind of linger in that. And this practice reminds us to be here. Reminds us to stay connected. Let's take a gentle inhale breath through the nose. Open up the mouth to exhale and let that out. So from here, you can walk both legs in. With the legs bent, sway and shift, just kind of free things up a little bit, stir things up a little bit. And roll over to our side for a moment. We're actually going to return to our back, but first I want us to do a little bit of a setup. So for the next pose, you can do this with just a yoga block, but if you happen to have like a yoga bolster or a pretty sturdy meditation cushion, that might actually work even better than this. What I like to do when I don't have a proper bolster is to take my block and to basically drape a blanket over the top so it kind of softens the block. It makes it a little more cushy. So have that ready to go. Again, bolster or meditation cushion could work even better maybe if you have one. We're going to lie down onto our back and with the knees bent, pick up the pelvis and take your prop and slide it right under the back of the pelvis here to come first into a supported bridge pose. So you could remain here in supported bridge. It's a little more stable, it's a little more grounded. Or if you are up for it, begin to lift the legs up and extend them towards the ceiling to come into what we call seagrass pose. It's basically a supported shoulder stand pose. You can softly bend the knees, and the trick is to find a nice balance here. So shouldn't feel like you're falling off of the bolster. If it feels too intense, to keep the legs lifted, again, you can always lower the feet to the floor. It's a little more relaxed that way. Soften the shoulders on the floor, close your eyes, and allow yourself to be here in this pose. And notice the sensations. Feel even the weight of the body on the floor. And allow for all of that to keep you anchored. Allow for all of that to keep you connected here, just with what is. Take a final complete breath like you are. Slowly lower the feet down to the floor. Press through the feet, lift up the hips, and remove your block. And slowly lower all the way down onto your back. And as you lower onto your back, it could feel nice to move, to shift a little bit. Just kind of loosen that up, free it up. And what's nice as well to counter this is to walk your feet a little wide, let the knees fall into the center. Of course, any position really is fine here. So find your neutral shape, whatever that is. And take a few nice deep breaths. Feel the earth beneath you. Feel any lightness, any space. Anchor in the physical. From here, we'll set up for a final pair of twists on our back. So we're actually halfway towards where we need to be. You might just walk the feet a little closer. Again, it can feel nice to do like a simple sway, simple shift back and forth here for a few moments. But then from here, cross your left leg on top of the right. You can stack the knees. Take a gentle inhale breath there. And then slowly roll your legs across towards the right. Open the left shoulder onto the floor. Never pushing the legs further than they want to go. This should feel like a nice unraveling. Nothing intense, nothing too much. As you find that alignment, relax the body, settle into the pose. Let the physical sensations keep you grounded in this moment. And take a final complete breath like you are there. Slowly begin to wind in the legs. And shift, release for just a few moments. Balance things out for yourself. And then set up your second side. Right leg crosses on top. Here you can take a gentle inhale and with a slow exhale, roll the legs across to the left. Place the right shoulder, right arm on the floor again, anywhere beside you. Make sure that you feel grounded, you feel comfortable in terms of your edge. And relax the body and feel the experience of being here. Ground in the sensations of each moment. And take a final complete breath just like you are. Slowly wind in the legs, release that cross, and take any final movements that you might like. Extend your way all the way onto the floor. Spread yourself out. Setting up your final rest, final Shavasana. So certainly feel free to integrate any extra props if you'd like, or just keep it nice and simple lying on your back, but allow for the body to be neutral, and by laying here in neutral for just a minute or so, giving the system the time it needs to integrate all the deep work that you have just done. So one last time here, take a gentle inhale breath through your nose. Open up your mouth as you exhale to let all of that go and rest here. So please just take a final few moments on your back as you are and notice what has shifted. Notice what may have settled there. Deepen the breath slightly. Start to find movements gradually when you're truly ready for them. Let those movements help you find your way onto your side. Gently press your way up into a comfortable seat and close your eyes there. And here in this final seat, one last moment to observe and connect. One last moment to feel all the effects of your practice. And join your hands in front of the heart. Again, and as always, my deep thanks to each of you for sharing your practice. And may our practice bring benefit to all beings. And we bow. So once again, thank you so very much for joining. And if you have any thoughts, questions, anything at all, please let me know in the comments down below.